Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. As we get a peek at their dynamic signal caller hailing from Mississippi State, it's Dak Prescott.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
And Charles, you see the numbers for Amari Cooper last week. 4 catches, 58 yards.
And I'd certainly expect them to use him quite a bit because he runs excellent routes, has good hands, and knows how to get open.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but...
And now the ball's out, fumbled near midfield. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. Throw right side, taken in by Gallup. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. They go play action here on first down. A dump off to Elliott. And now running right through it. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
Okay, I'm not so great at math, but I just looked over at our statistician, Marvin, and he signaled to me 5 for 5 to get things started here on this.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding, defense.
Wait a second, they did not accept that after the incompletion. Your look is just as puzzled as mine.
I got nothing for you here. You have to take that penalty, don't you?
It's 3 yards. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
And he slings one that's incomplete. The tight end Cameron Brate was the target. And it's 3rd and 5. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
As my dad used to tell me all the time, when you're going ready to play a big-time game, especially when you have one going into a dome setting, better strap it up tight because that crowd can really affect things.
Especially on 3rd downs like the one we just saw there with the incompletion. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He finds his target. It's Schultz. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, he couldn't turn it into much more.
And this is caught by Witten, the tight end. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He had told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there, you know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Prescott now on second down. This one caught left side by Cooper. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 23 yards on the play. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, they say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. But don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch there.
He did spend 1 year with Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback there, so that helped back in high school. On second down, Elliott. And he'll be taken down at the 34. And defensive back Jamal Adams in on the stop.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. He's got his target. It's Cobb. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 at a first down. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I'll just figure there's something wrong with the football.
So just a lone field goal in this first quarter. Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. But they face a second and long to start things out. The give is to Elliott. Oh, nice move. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. 1 yard officially on the pickup, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 11.
Well, they've certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Drops it underneath to Elliott. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion. What you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. Just, I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Steps away to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Robert Quinn in there to get him for a loss of 5. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
On second down, Johnson. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. It's a gain of 4, but they're still looking up here at a tough 3rd and 11.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
On 3rd down, Trubisky. He's got the hook up to Lee. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down.
And the key number on that play, 3. 3rd play of the drive, 3rd down, Spectacular catch turns into a first down.
First down saves them from a 3-and-out. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. A first down carry here for Johnson. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. A nice job there as he rumbles for 9, and it'll be back to a 3rd and 3.
You got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Under 4 to play now. Clock running. 3rd down. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he'll be brought down, but a tip of the cap on the spin move as that gives him a first down. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
Now a handoff. Johnson. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
10 more there and another first down. To play in a tightly contested first half. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. There'll be a lot. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Jamarcus Lawrence. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. Now Trubisky to throw on 2nd. And Blake has it over the middle. And, oh, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Foul. Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
From the red zone now, here's Trubisky on first down. And Brate, the tight end's got it. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
It's a gain of 7. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. They'll give it to him up the middle. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. On 2nd down, Trubisky. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Stephon Diggs, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jags are able to cash in for 6.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front, and now See on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And the lead is now 10-3. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. A second down throw for Prescott. Quick throw that's complete on the inside slant. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. On 1st and 10, Prescott going right side. He has Witten. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. The Cowboys looking to get going again in a hurry. Second down, Prescott. Over the middle, Cooper with it. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. A first down throw for Prescott. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. And quite a bit of pizza in this box. It's a 53-yard attempt. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that'll bring them back within 4. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. To return it is Corey Grant. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Jaguars out on top as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6.
And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Here's Corey Grant now to return. And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
Now this is going to put them back with not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
False start, offense.
Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. Give him 8 on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
A first down carry by Elliott. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now flags fly in, and one of the Cowboys looked like he got going a little early. They expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
After the penalty, it's Elliott. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. And the trick play doesn't work. Good reaction there defensively, and it'll be 4th down. Able to spin free. It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
On 2nd down, here's Trubisky. The left side caught by Diggs. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. Jacksonville 1st down on a pickup of 17.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes...
Now Trubisky lost the football, and the Cowboys have recovered.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
They'll try and get the running game going with Elliott. And he'll get this up to about the 40. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They go to Elliott again. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Tackle made by Justin Evans.
I have to think a major focus at the halftime means had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And he will find his man on the outside. And 12 yards that time and picking up the first.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
Now Prescott. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
On second down, Prescott again. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Telvin Smith. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Back now in Arlington. It's Jaguar football here, and they'll look to extend their lead as we begin quarter number 4. From the gun on third down, it's Trubisky. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And the Jaguars send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the second time. And out now come the Cowboys. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. And this one complete to Winton over the middle. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Prescott now, perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Prescott from the gun. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Now, he's been a busy man out of the backfield. They've looked his way quite a bit so far in this game.
Nice job there defensively, though, adjusting, because a couple of his earlier catches, he was wide open. Not that time.
You mentioned the key word, adjustment. A better cover man on him now in space.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. And again, it's Prescott. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll be 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Prescott now from the 50. And this is caught. Amari Cooper. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And they convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. Prescott yet again. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Ezekiel Elliott, and it's 3rd down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return. Scoring has really been at a premium, and Charles, you got to tip your cap to this defense coming in here. Their offense too, but this whole team coming in here on the road, getting a hard-fought win.
I think the way that they're finishing this one up, an exclamation point on a terrific game. As you noted, hard for them to put points on the board, and they hold them down one more time and finalize things.
And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. And credit the tackle to Taco Charlton with a stop.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. From the gun, it's Trubisky. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. So a challenge is upon us. I tell you, close game, 4th quarter. This is a huge decision.
Oh, no doubt about that, partner. A lot has to be riding on this call. And you know it is a tight one because it has to be.
And the Jaguars send out their punter, standing just outside his own goal line. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Dak Prescott of the offense heading back onto the field. And the interception that ended their previous drive, that might be one we look back on and say that was the turning point of this game.
Hey, partner, guess what? There's still time for a few more turning points in this ball game. They're only 1 score down.
Yeah, true. We could have some twists and turns. Stay tuned. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Pass interference. Defense.
This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
Wide open, Amari Cooper. Touchdown, Cowboys! Amari Cooper, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter. Correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Extra point splits the uprights, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And now out come the Jags. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 23 yards on the play. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw, Trubisky on 1st down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Let's go.
From the shotgun is Trubisky. Throwing the slant pattern here complete. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Face mask. Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all. Now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They'll look to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line.
Well, I don't think we'll have to look very hard to find our play of the game. That was an absolutely monstrous big play right there. Backs to the wall. The offense has it in the red zone, driving for the winning score. And he says, not on my watch. And that is one happy bunch on the sidelines.
Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. They have the 3-point lead. Defense did their job. Now, late game, although it looks good, you know the coaches, they haven't counted this as a victory yet.
I agree with you totally. Big applause for the...
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. 10th carry now for Elliott. Sheds off the tackle, and he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Again, it's Elliott. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Out now comes the Cowboys punter. And you wonder, could they possibly think about taking a safety here? And this offense led by Mitchell Trubisky going to make their way back out there. And this is a spot where you can learn a lot about a young quarterback.
And that's why they brought him into the organization, because you don't just bring them in strictly for their talent. You think that they have that something special in them that will allow them to function in these types of situations. Now it's time for them to be clinical and not emotional. You know your play sequence. You know what has to get done. Get the ball to the right people, get out of bounds, and get it downfield and try and score.
Yeah, he's trying to earn his stripes here for a winning drive. And that one results in 35 yards. Back to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Back to throw. And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. After the penalty, it's Fournette. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal. He'll look to throw. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow. 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 I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but not. You got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it results in a touchdown for Jacksonville. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now Dak Prescott and the offense heading back onto the field. A field goal does them no good. They need a touchdown.
And right now, in his mind, in his memory bank, he's drawing on times that he's done this before. Not necessarily in the NFL. College, high school, pee-wee ball, wherever. Anything positive that he remembers about taking a team downfield with a chance to win, he's going to draw on that for this drive.
I'm sure that these guys live for these moments. Here we go. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete, and now 2nd down. He's back to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Cooper was the intended target, and it's third down. So back-to-back incompletions, now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to move the chains.
You're exactly right. Got to get back into focus here. Get the first down. That's what's vital to them.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Cooper's got it. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. Prescott to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Prescott. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Back-to-back big plays defensively. First the sack. Now they force the incompletion on 3rd and long. Things looking pretty good for them.
And this is where they have to be careful because they've got the momentum going their way. They will be really amped up to get to the quarterback. Look out. Draw, screen, something that could be used against them.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This will be 3rd and forever. Now Prescott. Oh, Prescott stripped. And did the Jaguars come up with it? They did.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they've got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week at practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you've got that small lead.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the offense's perspective, taking care of the ball, so important. I know they're going to have all kind of ball security drills in practice all next week.
So we've got a challenge. Our referee's going to take another look on the tablet. He's going to be watching to see if the knee was down prior to the ball coming out.
Oh, I love what you just said there. You nailed it because if the ball's shifting or moving before the knee or any other part of the body hits the ground, then that'll be considered a fumble.
After review of play, line on the field is reversed.
Partner, they're less than 2 minutes ago in the game, which means that this challenge was initiated by the fellas in New York.
And if you're the coach, you're thinking, thank you, New York. Down 4 late. Got to go for it here on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And it's looking like the Jags are going to win this football game. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down play, make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
Down to a knee for the Jags. Victory seemingly in hand. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Jacksonville, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, the loss here will move them back to 500 at 3-3. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Washington. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
We want back ends. Wipe my sins. They can't win. No new friends. Football fans. They sleep again. We wake them up. Wake up, the champs is in. Champion. We want back ends. Wipe my sins. Wipe it. They can't win. No new friends. Football fans. They sleep again. We wake them up. Wake up, the champs is in. Yeah. Wake up, the cake up, raise up, or make us do something we don't want to. Bite down on you, right now on you. Juke to the left, they dodging it. Can't play the role, you fraudulent. Waiting on the race for the stars in it. 4x4 double parking it. Wanna play like cars in it. Wear the right flag, they forfeit it. Now I got a ring too gorgeous. Damn, I gotta treat it like forges. It sound like I wanna scratch it. Try to take the ring, I'ma tackle you. I guess I'm a Super Bowl bachelor. Go hard in the gym, no cameras. I think I see blood, no Dracula. I'm an animal, eating up amateurs. Too active, y'all can't handle it. No taxing, we'll dismantle it. Shake up the building and ramble it. Whip it, shut up the critics and analysts. Come through dripping, I'ma set it off. Game after game, you can bet it off. Quarterback got range if you broke them off. Quarterback did an option and set it off. Duck goose linebacker coming through. Yeah, hit him with the spin of the Jew. Yeah, we gon' blow your block like a new. Yeah, and I spend a dime every two. We gon' lock down on the offense. Bust down the skeleton fossil. I'm not addressing the problem. Julio on the post, you can't stop him. Pick it up, running back, it's no problem. I'm running behind the block, they gon' block him. Quavo Yoda, I'm offset Chewbacca. Watch the blitz on the left, we gon' block him. We some animal, yeah, we some goblin. Man to man, we gon' cover you properly. Man to man, you can't beat me impossibly. Red zone, this my house like my property. Do a quarterback sneakers on 4th and 3. Get the ends on the offensive block for me. I step on him down, get off of me. I'm trucking them over, he under me. Back ends. Wipe my sins. They can't win. No new friends. Football fans. They sleep again. We wake them up. Wake up, the champs is in. Champion. We want back ends. Wipe my sins. Wipe it. They can't win. No new friends. Football fans. They sleep again. We wake them up. Wake up, the champs is in. Yeah.
I just hike the ball and I look for the open man. The zone, I'm trying to get in. Open the playbook, the book of the champion. Get flipped if you trying to get in. I got the front defense, they got the end. Going for long on first and